been a positive year, a very good start to this year. Despite all of the stuff that's going on out there, Brexit, as we know, there's just such an appetite for property investment, and as we've seen today, an appetite for learning more about property development. Yeah, so for us at Property Investor News, yeah, we've been doing this now for 17 years. So a lot of the people at this summit are subscribers to the magazine, and I've watched and learned and observed their journey over the years. Some of them started out with very modest portfolios, maybe 10 years ago. In fact, a couple of the speakers, they were exactly in that category 10 years ago, and now they're doing large scale multiple developments. So for me to watch that and observe that, to see their growth, yeah, it's great. For me, the thing that I've been saying at my event talks for the last 2 or so years is about people need to take a more professional approach. Now, it doesn't mean to say that you've got to, when we talk about being professional, that you've got to have 100 properties or be only, developing stuff, 10 million size projects. It's about having a professional mindset, because the market is more competitive. It is more difficult. It's more challenging. The Section 24, the lending changes, there's so many factors which are impinging on the traditional buy-to-let model, and therefore people, in order to make the business model work, you've got to have a more professional mindset. You've got to be more focused. Absolutely. Without question, it's causing a fog of uncertainty ahead. One would assume that within a few months we might have a clearer idea, but it's certainly impacted on people's confidence, particularly in London and the South East, I would say, and that's impacted on prices. But this year, we've had 2 or so years of relative stagnation, falling prices increasingly from outwards from central London, partly also because of stamp duty changes, partly because of international buyers pulling back. So I think this year is a year of opportunity for those people who have got their ducks in a row for the London market. And in Property Investor News, only this month, we've got an article on the rent cycle and how rents are turning around and therefore yields are now rising. Combination of prices declining and rents increasing, which makes London property much more attractive than it was a few years ago. Is it attractive enough? Probably not quite yet for some people, but for those people who are able to see the medium to long term, I would say, yeah, this is definitely the next year or so. It's a year of real opportunity if you know what you're doing. Well, today, I mean, we listened to Stuart Scott, who's featured in the January issue of Property Investor News. His focus is on co-living. I'm going to be talking again to Stuart in a few months' time on something else that he's doing in terms of a topic that we've been researching for a while. Ross Harper was talking today, and Ross was featured in the December edition of the magazine. Both of these guys won some major awards in the last few months at the Property Investor Awards. There are some themes that we're going to be looking at. Some are more related to the physical property. We're going to be looking at air rights and building up and building on top of buildings. There's a capacity for about 40,000 units in London. That's one of the themes that we're going to be exploring in Property Investor News. Ongoing focus on build to rent, which we've been looking at in the last year or so. We've looked at 4 schemes so far, all of which is designed to sort of showcase good practice, showcase business models that are working by investors and by developers for people to learn from. Okay, well, just Google propertyinvestor.news. You'll go straight to our website. You can subscribe there online. It's just modest £7.95 a month. You can subscribe. It takes about 90 seconds to do that, debited quarterly. Yeah, so it's as simple as that. Or we attend now probably 35 property events a month where we exhibit and we have a table, so people will find us. If you're attending any property events, certainly in and around London in particular, you'll find us, and also at auctions as well.